Not long ago, they announced two pieces of news concerning She-Ra. One that has people rather excited, and the other that has left people with more conflicted feelings. The good news is that the 5th season of She-Ra finally has a release date, that being May 15th of this year. Considering the limbo in which Netflix dangles a lot of shows, including The Dragon Prince, it is nice to see She-Ra finally get out of limbo and get a release date. However, there is also the news that this will be the last season of the show. Considering that the show has been around for less than 2 years, this is something of a disappointment. And perhaps a sign of how fast Netflix wants to speed through certain shows. On the other hand, it is important to note that the show is ending exactly when showrunner Noelle Stevenson wanted it to end. It's not being forcibly cancelled, like Tuca and Birdie, or shortened, like BoJack Horseman. She explained that the show was planned to run 52 episodes, and that is exactly what it will be by the end of Season 5, assuming that this season is 13 episodes, and there's no real reason to believe otherwise at this point. I don't know if she knew that the show would be packed into such a compressed time frame of less than 2 years, but what matters most is that the full story is going to be told. That matters. It is thus a natural conclusion point. Adora has grown substantially from the uncertain person she was at the start of the series. Instead of being torn between two sides, she has confidence in her position. She knows that what she is doing is right, and she knows that those around her will be there for her. She knows they will support her. That does not mean she's perfect. She can still make mistakes, and it is entirely possible that she cannot detach herself enough from her present feelings toward Catra to see the truth about Catra and truly understand her as much as Adora really should. Even in this respect, however, she is improving. She understands Catra's story better, and she has grown to empathize more with Catra's pain. Now, that does not mean she will allow Catra to play her for a fool, but it does mean that, combined with Catra's growing recognition of her own faults, the show could be pointing toward a redemption narrative for Catra. It would certainly fit the ethos of the show. Catra has never been just an enemy. The show has spent too much time investigating her side of the story to just blithely dismiss her as an irredeemable villain. While it is possible that she could decide to never rejoin Adora, that would be an awfully cynical and pessimistic move for a show like this to make, considering this show is all about empathy and friendship and all that positive stuff. A redemption narrative would also fit how the show has gradually been advancing her character toward the forefront of the narrative. That is not to say she has not been an important character from the beginning, but she has worked her way up the ladder of the Horde, taking on an increased level of authority. It would be strange to, at this late stage of the show, introduce a new set of villains. Instead, the final conflict is likely to come down to Catra versus Adora, and it is not going to be settled with violence. That's not to say there aren't pleasant action sequences in the show. There certainly are, but those sequences are not core to the soul of the show. sympathy, and understanding are. Thus, it would be fitting if compassion and love win out in the end. Adora could explain that she understands Catra now, and Catra would ask for forgiveness, now understanding her own faults, and the two of them could start anew, the friendship between them restored. This is likely where the show is going, and it does not need more than 13 episodes to get there. It is a natural ending to this great show and a beautiful note to go out on. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Go rewatch She-Ra. It's a great show. And I really have to say I'm pleased with the way it turned out, even though, like all the rest of us, I would have preferred to have more seasons. Anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. I promise you that. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.